We completed the Nagios setup, and as I said, we have to do 4 things to complete the Nagios setup. I believe you have got the link in the script also. So we first of all install LAMP stack, then we set up Nagios core server, right? Then we set up Nagios plugin, then Nagios NRP agent, right? And after restarting Xanity service, right, most of the Nagios thing is set up, right? Then we create a servers directory where we are going to put all the nodes configuration which you want to monitor, right? We define a check to monitor the host itself. We enable 2 modules in Apache, right? And we set up the username and password, right? And there's one more link in this website, right? Then we start Nagios and Apache 2 service. Okay, so I'll just open the link. Today the IP address is different. It's 1.10/Nagios. Okay, the username is Nagios admin and password was admin123, right? And you're logged into the Nagios dashboard, right? Host sections we have seen. We have local host, we have web server 1. Okay, this we have to change anyways, right? And services also. Okay, it's bad. So this is gonna fail very badly. Okay, so because this is we have a new node that we are adding. Okay, the older one is already gone, so this will fail. So let's go back and keep adding our node information. Okay, so terminal, share the terminal with you. So that's the Nagios server 1.10. Okay, and this is going to be the client. Okay, let me shift it on the right hand side. So right hand tab is the client, left hand tab is the server. Sorry, I did not name it properly because of the hurry. This is the client is a new instance, so I need to install Nagios plugin and NRP. Okay, first of all I need to do apt-get update. Apt-get update. Apt-get install Nagios plugin and Nagios NRP server. These are 2 packages that we need to install on the node which we want to monitor. Okay. Yes. So etc Nagios nrp.cfg. So this is a configuration file. We are going to add the server nation can monitor this node. Okay, so open this, and there is a section called as allowed hosts. Okay, allowed host section. Now here you can add multiple Nagios server address, IP address, or FQDN. One server, one node can be monitored by multiple of servers. Okay, let's see it right again. Yeah, I mean I can have now this 1.10 is a Nagios server where we have set up, so that server can monitor this. If any other Nagios server wants to monitor, can do it. You need to add one more IP address over here, separated by a comma. Okay, and we'll restart the Nagios service. Yeah, Nagios NRP server restart. The name sounds, not sounds. It reads server, but it's actually agent of Nagios. Okay, I don't know why they named it like that. Anyways, Alright, so that server can monitor this, so and we have to definitely monitor that, and we know our configuration we have seen yesterday in USR local Nagios etc servers. Okay, web server 11.cfg is the configuration file that we created in servers directory. Okay, where we're going to change the IP address. Now this is the older IP address yesterday we have given. I don't know if I was audible that time or not. Are you aware about this file, web server 1.cfg? Oh, am I audible now? Can you hear me?
Yes, Imran, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Thanks, man. So yesterday, where did it got stuck? At this point, did I created this file? Did you see this file? I was creating this file, web server 1.cfg.
No, I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Then. Okay, then I need to repeat this process again. Okay. So I'm in the server now. Okay. Nagios.cfg is the configuration file. Okay. And here. So this is the main the Nagios configuration file. Okay, in the Nagios server, here I can define that if I want some other configuration file that could read. Okay, I have to mention that. For example, I have to, if I am saying that I'm going to add few more Nagios setting in localhost.cfg file. So I have to give it like that. CFG file, CFG underscore file is equal to this file. So Nagios will read this file also for the configuration details. Okay, like that it can also read the entire directory. CFG underscore directory is equal to this directory, USR local Nagios etc servers. At least I think this directory we created, right? Yesterday we saw this, didn't we? The servers directory we created, right?
Yes, Imran.
Yeah, okay, anyways, I'll repeat it again. You don't sound so confident. Okay, so this is the main Nagios configuration file. Just server define that Nagios should read some other configuration files or directories as well for new configuration files. Okay, CSV files, right? So we uncommented this line. This says you have to read configuration file from this directory also. Okay, and if you come to this path, here we created this directory, servers directory. Okay, and in this directory we are going to keep all the node configuration. Whichever node you want to monitor, every node's configuration file will put over here. Okay, and web server 11.cfg is a file that we have created, which will have information about a node that we want to monitor, and we'll put all the information. Okay, so as of now, simply I'll remove this file. Do it from the scratch. Service Nagios restart. Okay, so I'm gonna keep in this directory all the node configuration, all the nodes information that I want to monitor. Okay, and let me name it as db1 db server 01.cfg. okay, a name, just a name. Okay, so that's the name of the server that I want to create, so I've named it with the same name. Okay, I opened it. Okay, here we are going to define the host that it has to monitor, and we are going to define the nodes that it has to monitor. Sorry, the services that will be monitored. Okay, first let me quit this. I have one sample file here. Background. This is a sample file which you must have got it. Okay, so simply copy some information here. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Simran.
Siva.
I'm a little panicky today. Okay, so define host is a section where we define the host that we want to monitor. Okay, and there are so many templates in Nagios. If you read more in detail, Nagios templates. So one of the templates is Linux server, where we monitor the Linux server. Okay, then we give it a name, host underscore name. See, all the settings are not mandatory. Okay, some of them are when you are adding the node. Eventually, you'll understand slowly by reading the documentation. Let me name it as DB server 01. That's the host name will appear uh, in the dashboard. Okay, that host name and some alias. Okay, then the address says which IP address that you want to monitor. Okay, which server. So 1.11 I believe is the node. Yeah, 1.11 is the server that we want to monitor. Okay, maximum check attempts 5 times. Okay, check period 24/7. Notification interval 30. So every 30 minutes going to notify it to you. Okay, going to send emails to you. Notification period 24/7. Okay, these are some settings. There could be there are many settings actually that you can give. Okay, for this specific host. So let's save and quit this, and okay, before we quit, we'll add few services also. These are some service where we give the template as generic service. Okay, use generic service. Host name you have to give web server 1. So this host has to be defined either in this file or some other file. Okay, so we have to change that because it says web server 1, but our host we have defined says the name as DB server 01. So DB 01. So what is this check underscore SSH and check underscore ping? Okay, these are some this will execute some plugin. Okay, so if we go one level up, I'm in Nagios server only. Okay, I'm in Nagios server. I hope I find it somewhere here. Check underscore SSH. In this file. Okay, yeah, I know where it is. Objects, commands.cfg. Okay. So here, locally, some checks are defined. Okay, so it's going to execute check underscore SSH, which will actually run a SSH plugin. Okay, check underscore SSH plugin, and will check if the target node's SSH service is working or not. Okay, like that. Similarly, check underscore ping will simply do ping. So these plugins are the one plugin, okay, that we have installed while we were setting up the Nagios server. Okay, now Nagios server is going to use plugs and set. Okay, so we have made some changes, so we need to restart Nagios. Okay, and you need to read that check definition and service definition properly to understand it more. Okay, there are a few more settings that I'll tell you later. So let's come to the dashboard. Okay, let's refresh this. Let's go to services, and we see here DB server. Okay, you go to host, you see DB server, it's showing up. Okay, last check. If you click on services, you see two service ping and SSH. It's in pending state. Okay, because it's gonna go and check. It's gonna show the status, which takes some time. Okay, these are normal check that can be performed from the Nagios server itself. It can run its own plugin and check, but there are some checks or service that we want to check, like disk space or memory usage, CPU load. All those things Nagios server cannot perform by itself. It has to go and talk to the node. Okay, execute some script on the node which returns some result, and that it posts on the dashboard. That's the next type of check that we are going to add now. Let's see if it's coming up or not. So, okay, you see ping has become okay now. Okay, so why this takes time is because Nagios daemon is going to perform the check, and it's going to put it into the retention database DB as we discussed, and all this information comes from the DB. So that's why it takes a little amount of time. Okay, once the check everything is performed properly, it returns the result from the DB once it's returned to the DB. Okay, all right. So let's come back to our terminal. Okay, back to our servers directory. I'm gonna add two more checks here. Okay, before I add any check here, I'll go to my node here. Okay, let's go to /etc Nagios. Now, why nrp.cfg is in /etc/Nagios in the node? It's not because that's where it is, because we have installed it with the apt-get update package. Okay, apt-get update. We have not compiled it from the source code like configure, make install. We didn't do that. Okay, we installed with apt-get. All right. Actually, there are so many plugins in Nagios that is available in raw source code. So if you download a new plugin, you have to compile it. Okay, so that's a useful procedure you should know, because so many people who write new plugins every day, which you may need to compile and install it on your Nagios server or in RPH. Okay.
Imran,
anyways,
you tell plugin, it means like service, right? SSH, like ping service and SSH.
Yeah, it's gonna be a script or a binary file which will perform the check. Okay, so I'll show you now.
Okay.
So let's say, so I'm into nrp.cfg file. Okay, now here there are some commands mentioned over here, like let's say check underscore load. So whenever a server request comes and says execute this command check underscore load, so NRP will have a plugin to execute for that. This is the path of that plugin. Okay, it could be a binary file, it could be a script. Okay, so let's copy this and execute it ourselves. You see, okay, let me clear the screen. We run it again. So this is the path of the plugin. So we installed plugin, right? apt-get install and Nagios plugin. So it installed plugins in this particular directory. So check underscore load is one of the plugin. Okay, we're passing some value to it. -w 15 10 it's some time, and -c is for critical. Okay, and it returns a result. Okay, let's take example of one more plugin. So this check underscore whatever, these are just the name of the command. Okay, you can give any name of the command. Okay, the actual script that gets executed, actually SPA1. So this is one more plugin, check underscore disk. Okay, by passing some value -w 20%. These are threshold that we are passing. Okay, -w 20%. That means if the disk space is just 20% free, give me a warning. If disk is just 10% free, give me a critical error, critical warning, of critical notification. And this is the path of my disk /dev/sda1. And it returns a result, and the same result you'll see on the Nagios server. Okay, so these are some plugins. Now let's say you want to check if the Tomcat is up and running or not. Okay, if MySQL database is running or not, if it is having a proper DB connection or not. All those things you need to check. So there would be so many plugins that will get installed when you install Nagios plugin package, and there are so many available freely out there. Some are paid plugins that you have to pay for it. Okay, some you have to write by yourself. Okay, your own scripts, right? A shell script or a Python script or a Ruby script, any script that returns some result which can be displayed on the Nagios dashboard. Okay, in a proper format. All right, are you clear now? What are plugins?
Yes.
Right. So what we'll do is, so there is, we'll enable few checks. So first of all, we need to change it in the node. So I'm in the node. I want to add this check underscore SDA1. That's the name I want to give, because the my disk name is SDA1. Okay, my disk name is SDA1, and this check underscore load. This command also is. So see, this command name can be anything. Okay, whatever you want to give. Like literally anything. Okay, let's save and quit this. Okay, let's not see this for now. Let's come to our Nagios server. I'm going to the end of the file. The db server.cfg configuration. I'm adding two more checks now. Okay, define service web server 1. I have to change it to db server 01. Right. Service description, there's some description I have given that it's a load, and check command I say use NRP and run check underscore load command. Okay, check underscore load. Okay, if you see, it will go and execute this command, which means it's going to execute this plugin, this entire script. Okay, next service I have given check NRP exclamation check underscore SDA1, and here if you come, it's going to execute this command. Okay, now let's say here I have name as SPA123. 11. Okay, so it will come here and it will see there is no such command mentioned. Okay, and it's going to fail. So that should be of same name. Okay, those commands which you are mentioning, or either you can just put it over here itself. 2, 3.
So is it like for each and every disk we need to have one command?
You can have, or you may not have. That really depends, because if you want to monitor, so we generally monitor, the space which gets mostly filled up, like where the developers are putting their data, or the data is regularly written. Operating system, file system, we don't touch it mostly, so we sometimes don't monitor it. So it really depends what you are monitoring.
Yeah,
You can
so
put n number of checks over there.
you can monitor file systems also, right? From here.
Yes, you can monitor anything. Okay.
But for that also we have need a plugin, right?
Which file system you're talking about?
Any file system like OS file system or application file system, we can monitor. We can.
Yes. You need to check the particular plugin for that.
Okay, right. Okay.
Okay. Either it's available or it's not available. I'm not sure. Okay. We can go in this directory, but give you a list of the installed plugin. Okay. So I'll just save and quit this. I will save and quit this also. Let me restart Nagios server. And let me restart NRP. Nagios NRP. Start. At the time it comes up, let's go to that directory and check some list of the plugin that's available there. Plugin that came up automatically when I installed that package, Nagios plugin, right? Check apt, ICMP, I don't know, NTP, check SSH, check _ users. Okay, how many users logged in, how many logged out. Check MySQL is there. See, check DNS is there. Okay, not quite that many. Okay, and you may need to write your own script, a Bash script, Python script, or a Ruby script, any such script which returns a result and which returns a right exit code. Okay, so there are Nagios exit code. Okay, 0 is okay, 1 is warning, and 2 is critical. So it should return the right exit code. If you are not sure about exit code, you should go and read about exit code first. Okay, like I execute a ls command, echo $exclamation is the way in bash to see the last exit code. It says 0, that means it executed successfully. If I execute some commands, the command not found, there was error. There is a question mark, is a variable actually, echo $question mark. It says 127, that means if it's a non-zero exit code, that means that something is wrong. Something went wrong when I executed last command. Okay, this is about bash. Okay, Nagios has a different exit codes. Okay, 0, 1 and 2 is there, I know for sure. Okay, you need to check those things, exit code. So your script should return that right exit code. Alright, so that then it returns, then it sends a signal to Nagios server that it's warning, critical, error, such kind of thing. Okay, and that data that you see, it's just for the display. Okay, on the dashboard, this display, that's all. Nagios server doesn't make out anything out of it. Okay, Nagios server will simply take this and show it on the screen, that's all. But if it's warning or a critical situation or on the exit code that your plugin is going to return. Okay, clear?
Yes, Imran. Yeah.
Okay. Let's come to the Nagios dashboard. Let's refresh this. Services. Right. Now you see SDA1 says okay, SSH is okay. Alright, everything is okay. This localhost swap usage is critical. Okay. So I'll show you a few more things over here which you can do manually and which you can do through your configuration management tools also. Okay. In Ansible there are Nagios plugins, in Chef there are cookbooks and resources. Puppet also there are modules and resources to manage Nagios, because Nagios is a very famous monitoring tool. Okay, you want to do something, you want to add a node to the Nagios server, or you want to do something like rules and Ansible roles available for that. Okay, so you need to just Google and find it out. Now a few things I want to show you over here. Okay, let's say SSH. Now I've clicked on a service, SSH service. Now due to some reason there is an update in SSH. I want to update that SSH service, install a latest SSH package, and SSH service will be down for certain amount of time. Okay, by that time it's going to show you red and going to send you so many emails. Okay, we have not enabled the notification, but if you enable the notification, it's going to send you emails continuously. So if you don't want to do that, you have to there are a few options over here, right hand side. If you see service commands, this you can do manually, or you can use a config manage tool, something like that, or Nagios APIs to write some code. So the first option you see is, okay, don't go with this option, okay, because if you disable the active check, it's not going to perform the check, and if you forget to re-enable this check, it's a problem. Okay, if you forget to re-enable and if really something goes wrong, it will not monitor it. Okay, there actually serious escalation that happened in my career for one of the person who actually disabled active checks for all the services of a particular node, and it actually had some issue, and it was not notifying because the checks were disabled, and there was serious escalation because the service went down, users started complaining. So before we came to know the problem, the user started complaining about that, and that's very bad. Okay, customer don't want that. Okay, so use this option very carefully. The best option for you, actually there are so many options. Okay, I'll tell you the best option is schedule downtime for this service. Okay, you click on this button and you schedule a downtime. Let's say you are going to perform an SSH activity for 1 hour of time. Okay, let's say starting from, I don't know, maybe 7 AM to 8 AM, like a class time. So then you have to give something like that, like 7 to maybe 8, something like that, and you commit. Like you give some comment. Okay, comment is important, so people will know why there was a downtime. Okay, give some comment, right? Start time, end time, fixed. Okay, click on commit. Okay, and that will schedule a downtime. For that amount of time, the checks will not send any notification. It will just see it on the screen that something is red or green, whatever. Okay, but you will not get any notification or nothing. And after 1 hour, it will automatically re-enable everything. Okay, so you don't need to worry about those things, right? Single service, you can disable check for the entire host. You can disable active checks for the entire host. Okay, and there are a few other options. Don't go through those options as of now. At least is schedule downtime for this host, or schedule downtime for all services on this host. So generally we use this. If some server is going under maintenance, we schedule a downtime for all the services inside the host. Right? We have like 4 services that we added. Okay, if you want, we can disable all the notification for it by scheduling the downtime. Right? And there are few other options which don't go for now. Just go through it, just read through it once you install and try to understand it. Active checks, passive check, okay, and few other things. Okay, I don't want to go too much into that. Right? So those are few important things that you should see. See, Nagios UI is a little ugly in looking because it's free. Okay, you can try Icinga or Groundworks, Xenos, other monitoring tool. Some of them uses Nagios internally. It's exactly going to be similarly same. You're going to get a beautiful UI, better than this. Okay, Icinga and Groundworks, the configuration file, whatever we did from terminal remains same. Okay, few file name changes here to there. Okay, otherwise it's mostly used for the UI purpose. Okay. So now let's say you want to, so I'll give you a scenario where you may need to automate the process. There is a production system that you are going to do some deployment, okay, which is under load balancer to server. So what you do is you disable notification. First of all, your first task in your automation script is going to be to schedule a downtime or disable notification, okay, in the script for that server. And then bring it out from the load balancer Okay, through a script you can do all those things. Okay, even in Puppet and Chef also. Right, take it out from the load balancer, like using AWS plugins, and then sorry, modules, and then perform your upgrade, whatever you want to do, deployment. Once it is up and running, okay, then uh, add it back to the load balancer, and at the end enable the checks. Okay, enable the monitoring. Right. So that's one scenario. Right. And that's all I want to talk about Nagios for now. Okay. For this course also, there's so many more things. Okay, but we cannot cover everything, of course.
Are
This you.
there any limitations for the number of servers to manage with Nagios?
Not so far. I have witnessed any such scenario because server with Nagios without any problem. So I'm not sure about that, but yeah, we monitor like hundreds of servers with Nagios. And Nagios server also should have that much of resources, like in terms of network bandwidth and CPU and memory and all those things. Okay, it can handle. There are other paid tool which performs. They say that they perform better than free tools, like some BMC monitoring tools and all those things, which is very popular for enterprise customers. Okay, enterprise customer, bigger customers. I did not, to be very frank, I did not find much of a difference in terms of performance, because it's from the beginning of the career I'm seeing Nagios, and I don't see any problem. Okay, it performs flawlessly. Recently there are few more tools which is getting popular, like Sensu. So if you want, you can go ahead and check that. Sensu Pearl actually has a different way of working altogether.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Right.
So Imran, quick question on this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
You chose VMs for both, right? For the server as well as the test node. But can we install the server on our Ubuntu, this thing,
Yeah.
on the laptop?
Yes,
And
yes.
have VMs as nodes to test it out.
Yes.
Can we do that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course. You
Sure.
can do that. We're doing it on Ubuntu, right? So you definitely can do that.
We
No
can
problem.
do that, right? Okay, thank you.
And this is also part of DevOps engineer to continuously check the monitoring, like how
No.
it is.
No, certainly not. That's why. So I've given you a scenario at the end, right? You may need to disable notification automatically, and then perform your update, and then re-enable the notification for the monitoring. Okay, this thing you need to automate sometimes. Okay, you also may need to add a node into the monitoring to monitor in the server. Like let's say your script spins an instance, okay, automatically deploys your code, and then it has to also add it into monitoring. Okay, so those things you may need to automate. So there are, if you take Ansible, there are modules to do that, or Ansible roles are available in the Ansible Galaxy. Puppet, there is some modules for that. Chef, there are some cookbooks for Nagios. So this all that resources available to do that. Okay, not every time, but yes, sometimes you have to do these things. Okay, you're not going to do monitoring. That's certainly not your job. You are the person who may enable the monitoring or disable the monitoring. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Imran.
All right. So that would be all from the Nagios point of view. We have just one last thing remaining, and I kept that on hold because of a reason. Actually, the AWS thing account is actually logged out. I thought of taking AWS today, but the AWS account is logged out. So we are working with the customer support to re-enable the account, AWS account. I hope that will complete today. We'll get the AWS account active today, and so I can take your class tomorrow on AWS. Okay, if I don't take, I will ask this one. I'm checking with that person. If he's available, he may also take the AWS class. Okay, it doesn't mean that I am not capable of taking. Okay, I'm AWS SysOps certified, but because of some account issues, okay, it's getting delayed. Okay, so I'll try to fix that today, and you'll get the information that tomorrow you have class or not. Okay, for AWS.
So Imran, how many more classes
That's
total,
the
to
last.
complete the course? Okay. So
This
would
is the
that be
last
one
thing.
class or two classes?
Yes, one class.
One class. Okay.
Yeah, one class.
I see. All right.
Right, but AWS, you have to create an account for yourself. Okay, if you do not have account, create an account. You can create a free tier account. Okay, you need to give your credit card or debit card information. Okay, but to use only free services. Okay, so you can keep your account ready if you want. Free